Well, I'm glad you're here watching my video on YouTube. The fact is, I don't know how long this will be up, since YouTube has decided to start censoring me and pulling down my videos. But don't worry, you can watch this video on rumble.com/randpaul, where I post all of my content. Love to see you over at rumble.com. So for, really the last several years, we've been borrowing about $1 trillion a year. This is for the main 5 things government does, the big 5 expenditures. There's thousands of expenditures, but Medicare, Social Security, food stamps, Medicaid, and military spending are probably the big 5 spending programs. And they spend about $1 trillion more than what comes in. So we spend a little over $4 trillion, we bring in a little over $3 trillion. That was before we got started on all the COVID spending. Last year when COVID came, people said, well, this is a dangerous virus. And it is dangerous if you're at risk for it. But the decision by some people was, let's just close the economy down. They're like, well, if we close the economy down, nobody will have any money. So then why don't we print up and give them all money? So we did. We printed up and gave everybody $1,400 checks one time, $1,500. We gave a bunch of money out. And surprisingly, it was popular. If you ask people, do you like receiving a check from government? People liked it. And I don't begrudge people for cashing it. If somebody sends me a check, I'll cash it too. But the thing is we have to realize there are repercussions to doing this. We borrowed $3 trillion last year, and we're going to borrow probably $5 trillion this year. There really isn't anything in life that's free. Nobody here got to where they got, without working hard. You either work hard in school or work hard in your business. No matter what you do, you have to work to achieve some kind of return. But what happens is, and what's going to happen as a consequence of so much debt, is we will print up money to pay for it. And as we print up money, we're going to get inflation. And those of us who remember the 1970s remember a significant amount of inflation. I fear that's coming. Even before we get to this latest spending spree, inflation was about 1.7% a year. You say, well, it's not that bad. But 1.7% a year, if you have a whole decade of that, is 17%. So even over the last decade, when they told you there was no inflation, let's say there's a person who makes $30,000 a year. Well, they make $30,000 a year in 2010. Did all of them make 17% more by the time you get to 2020? If you're still making $30,000 10 years later, you've lost 17% of your purchasing power. This is what's going to happen now. We're bringing in more free things. There's going to be more stuff that they say you get for free, but you're going to pay for it either through more taxes or through more borrowing or through loss of purchasing power through inflation. It's an insidious tax. And you think about it, as prices rise, who do they hurt the worst? Well, people on fixed income. If you make $1 million a year, you don't really care what your groceries cost, right? But if you live on a Social Security check, you darn sure count every penny, and you can't get more money because you may no longer be working. You've got your fixed income comes in every month, and if the price of gas goes up, and your groceries go up, and your rent goes up, it consumes your income, and you're poorer in the end. But this is the thing we have to resist. People are offering you something for nothing, and then we have to understand that the payment actually we do have to pay. They're just not being honest with us. It's sort of a bait and switch, that you're offered something for nothing, but in the end you pay for it through higher prices.
Need assistance with federal agencies? Please contact our Bowling Green office or visit our website.